Good morning or evening, friends. This is JP with Wise Guy Gaming, and I am taking a look at Cetrion. This is not going to be an in-depth look. I'm actually only going to look at one thing. Super short video, but this will just kind of explain where I'm at with Cetrion and my frustration. I like to look at attack strings and try to figure out what I need to start with, what I need to fit in, that type of thing. And she does have this high, or I'm sorry, this low. A lot of mid attacks. And if you look at her attack strings, a lot of these mid attacks or a lot of these mid starting combos do pretty well on block. That's -1 on block. It's really good. Really good. So it's bad. I mean, it's essentially your turn after a lot of these. You can set up a lot of interesting frame traps and frame advantage and so on and so forth. It's all great. It's all good in the hood. But, to me, her biggest problem is, for that safety, you lose damage. So, that is 58.5. That's the most she gets from any string. Any string leading into attack, at least. So, that's my standard, the mid and the low. It's only 58.5. Now, you have a lot of moves that can kind of keep your opponent honest afterwards. But I don't know. I just don't like that. That's pretty much the most you're gonna get. Her basic is even lower than that. So if you start with a 1-1 combo, you're only getting 39 going into the attack. That was a full combo with less than 100 damage. Special move included. So I don't hate it, but I don't like it. I don't like it at all. She's got some really nice strings. This is a really good one, because on hit it gives you nice pushback. On block it's safe. Or relatively safe. I think it's fully safe, but again, this is safe. This is safe to block, I'm pretty sure. So what you sacrifice in damage, I think you get back in safety. Because the real goal is to back your opponent up enough to where you can go back to your projectile game. And that's great. I just don't love it. I still don't like that projectile. I'm still in this terrible variation. Can I do that in the air? Oh, you can. You can mask out in the air. So can I do that? Yeah. You kick him out of it. So if you get him in the corner, that's actually pretty good for this variation. If you can get a good jump in, particularly if your opponent thinks you're attacking, you can just kind of put the input, dang it. You can put the input for that in while in air, and that'll give you better, for lack of a better word, cast time. I did that one. Ta-da! So when he wakes up into it. And it's harder to punish, as opposed to the wind. I am the wind. By the way, this costume is great. Great costume. Either way, that's the problem I'm having with Cetrion. I see variation in the attack strings. I don't see really a reason why. Like, once I do this, every option I go into that's not immediately a special move is going to do the same amount of damage. Except for 1-1. And that's kind of discouraging, because I like to look at the links between the specials and how to work that out. And it feels like an artificial cap on her damage because her keep away is so good. But, you know, here's what it is. I'll try to play around with, and you'll probably see some more matches with Cetrion. It's just that is discouraging me just slightly, ever so slightly. So I don't know that I'm going to lean super heavily into her. I'll probably still play her, because despite all that, I still find her to be a fun character, just to kind of be like, oh, I messed that up. Let's do this. But even that takes away all your meter. I like spring cleaning better. I gotta work on spring cleaning for the best combos. Because the thing I want to do with spring cleaning is maximize that geyser. I'm probably gonna well, on the plus side, the attack string that I love to use is her mid into low. So it is. That's my favorite start for an attack string. Which, if you use 4 for back kick, she's gonna come in with the overhead. So I like that. But if I can get the geyser, and I can't, I can do that. Kind of working too much damage that way. But I gotta make sure I'm static in that. I think that's why spring cleaning is the best, to me, one of the better variations. I don't know if I want to say it's the best, but it may be the best for me. Can I do that twice? No, it's not gonna let me. Yeah. All right. So I mean, I can do that, but it's all my meter. But it's you know, there are options. There's some things I can work with. I would like to pepper in separate attack strings, but I mean, we'll see. I'll take a look at it and see what I can work with and see what I won't. I wouldn't expect to see a lot more Cetrion. You may see 1 or 2 more matches or something like that that I may have already recorded, or maybe 1 or 2 new ones, and maybe a little pepper here and there. But it's not going to be like I still play Devora a lot. I still play Jackie a little bit, and trying to remember old characters and kind of play with some of the newer characters, or not newer characters, but characters I don't normally play with. That's probably not going to leave a lot of space for characters that I just really don't like the feel of. And this is, to NetherRealm's credit, this is the first character I just really don't like the feel of as far as playing. I do like what she's able to do, but, you know, the playstyle in general just ain't for me, which is fine. Not every character has to be a playstyle that you want. I'm just not gonna lie about it. Either way, that is something to keep in mind when you're playing Cetrion. All of her attack strings pretty much have the same top-out damage. Well, almost all of her attack strings pretty much have the same top-out damage. So there's no reason to really quibble on what you're going to do next. Just look for, if you start a combo, whatever you want to do. Because all of them are going to do about the same. Whoops. So, well, that's the lowest damage you're going to get. Actually, I guess that would be the And that's pretty low, if I'm going to be honest with you. You can kind of play around with it and see what you like, see what you don't like. If you kind of like keep away style, by all means, this is a great character for it. If you want to try to do what I like to try to do, and is to take a keep away character and try to force them to be a little more, I don't know if malleable is the right word, a little better, a little more well-rounded mid-range or in close, I would suggest not picking Cetrion. Because she's going to cap kind of what you're able to do, and it makes it harder. Because those strings are capped at that lower damage, it makes it harder to kind of, you have to do so much more work just to kind of catch up if you're in the mid-range to close range. So it really, really supports this keep away style. So, I don't know, maybe whining about her. I'm not trying to whine about her. She's still a good character. She just may not be my good character. Either way, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, so on and so forth. Peace out!